In the 1970s, muscle cars were at the peak of their performance. The fastest muscle cars demonstrated unmatched speed and power compared to any other vehicles at the time. In this important year, General Motors lifted its own limits on the engine size for mid-size and small muscle cars. This made it possible for Oldsmobile, Buick, and Pontiac to release a powerful 455 cubic inch engine. Chevrolet, on the other hand, showed off the 454 engine. This breakthrough resulted in 1970 being recognized as the year that gave birth to the most formidable and lightning-fast muscle cars in the muscle car era's history. Well, now that we've covered the basics, let's get into the top 10 fastest muscle cars of 1970.
This is it, the 1970 442 with 455 cube V8 engine standard.
In 10th place is the 1970 Oldsmobile 442 W30. In 1970, 3,100 cars with the W30 engine were made. Of these, 2,574 were Holiday Coupes, 264 were convertibles, and 262 were sports coupes. In the April 1970 issue of popular hot rodding magazine, a 70 W30 442 recorded a 13.89 second pass, traveling at 101.1 miles per hour. In 9th place is the 1970 Plymouth GTX 426 Hemi. GTX Hemi cars were produced in 1970, making it one of the rarest production cars on the list. 43 were equipped with a 4-speed, and the remaining 39 came with a 3-speed automatic. In the September 1970 issue of RSS, a 70 GTX Hemi ran the quarter mile in 13.85 seconds, traveling at 104 miles per hour. At number 8 on the fastest cars of 1970 is the Dodge Super Bee 440 six-pack. A new Bumblebee wing, front grille assembly, and available C-shaped rear quarter panel Super Bee decal, and a unique dual snorkel hood were added to the 1970 Dodge Super Bee 440 six-pack. Having a 1970 Super Bee with a 440 six-pack engine was pretty uncommon back in 1970. Dodge only made 196 coupes and 1,072 hardtops with this engine. In the January 1970 issue of High Performance Cars magazine, a 70 Super Bee 440 six-pack captured a 13.8 second quarter mile, traveling at 102 miles per hour. In 7th place is the 1970 Ford Torino Cobra 429 SCJ. The 429 Cobra jet engine replaced the 428 Cobra jet in the Torino in 1970, while the Mustang and Cougar held onto it until the end of the model year. The 429 Thunder jet with 360 horsepower engine was the base model. It was also offered as a 429 Cobra jet with 370 horsepower and a Supra Cobra jet with 375 horsepower. Like the 428 Cobra jet, the 429 Cobra jet was also available as a Super Cobra jet, the SCJ version. In 1970, Ford produced 7,675 Torino Cobras. 3,488 of these were equipped with the J-Code Ram Air system. In the March 1970 Superstock and Drag Illustrated magazine issue, a 70 Torino 429 SCJ recorded a 13.63 second quarter mile, traveling at 105.9 miles per hour. At number 6 on the list of the fastest cars of 1970, the Dodge Challenger RT 440 six-pack. There were a total of 1,640 Challenger RT 440 six-packs made this year. There were 847 4-speeds and 793 automatics in the hardtop variety. Convertibles added 61 with a 4-speed and 39 with an automatic. In the November 1969 issue of CarCraft magazine, A 70 Challenger RT 440 six-pack ran a 13.62 second quarter-mile pass, traveling at 104.3 miles per hour. Hey, thanks for watching another Boca Brother video. If you haven't subscribed, well, what are you waiting for? Help a brother out. Do it now. Subscribe to this channel. Now, back to the fastest cars of the year 1970. At number 5 is the 1970 Pontiac GTO Ram Air 4 400. The 1970 Pontiac GTO Ram Air 4 was Pontiac's only entry into the top 10 fastest muscle cars of 1970. Because they were so rare, only 804 Ram Air 4 GTOs were made in 1970. Hardtop versions came with 627 manual transmissions and 140 automatic transmissions. There were 13 manuals and 24 automatics that were convertibles. In the June 1970 Superstock and Drag Illustrated issue, a 70 Ram Air 4 GTO recorded a 13.60 second pass, traveling at 104.5 miles per hour. Next up at number 4 is the 1970 Buick GS Stage 1 455. The 1970 Buick GS Stage 1 had a lot of power, which was good enough for 4th place. Known more as a gentleman's car than a muscle car, it surprised its competitors, having barely lost out at 3rd place by only 0.04 of a second. There were 2,465 Stage 1 GS hardtops produced in 1970, of which 16 were equipped with a floor-shifted 3-speed manual, 664 with a 4-speed manual, and 1,785 with a 3-speed automatic. In the January 1970 issue of Motor Trend magazine, a 70 Buick GS Stage 1 recorded a 13.38 pass, traveling at 105.5 miles per hour. At number 3 of the fastest cars of 1970, the 1970 Plymouth Roadrunner 426 Hemi. While the 70 Roadrunner had the same drivetrain as the Cuda, the B-body was slightly heavier with a longer wheelbase and overall length, which made enough of a difference at the end of the racetrack. A total of 152 Roadrunners were equipped with the Hemi in 1970. There were 74 coupes, 75 hardtops, and 3 convertibles produced. In the December 1969 issue of Superstock and Drag Illustrated magazine, a 70 Plymouth Roadrunner recorded a 13.34 second pass, traveling at 107.6 miles per hour. After a fierce battle, the 1970 Chevrolet Chevelle Supersport 454 LS6 emerged as the second fastest muscle car of that year, considering it was almost 500 pounds heavier than the first-place muscle car. This was a tremendous accomplishment. A total of 4,475 cars were equipped with the LS6 454. In the November 1969 issue of CarCraft magazine, a 70 LS6 Chevelle SS recorded a 13.12 second quarter-mile pass, traveling at 107.1 miles per hour. Well, we're down to the number 1 fastest car of 1970, and the top honors go to the 1970 Plymouth Cuda E-Body, powered by the mighty 426 Hemi. With its lighter curb weight and shorter length and wheelbase, along with the fire-breathing 426 Hemi stuffed under its hood, the 1970 Cuda proved to be the undisputed champion without equal for this model year. 652 hardtops were equipped with a Hemi, with 284 4-speed manuals and 368 automatics being produced. Convertibles accounted for an additional 14 units, with 5 coming with 4-speed manual transmissions and 9 automatics. In the November 1969 issue of CarCraft magazine, a 1970 Hemi Cuda recorded a 13.10 second quarter-mile pass, traveling at 107.1 miles per hour. The 1970s witnessed an impressive lineup of powerful muscle cars that continue to captivate the hearts of car enthusiasts worldwide. With their raw power and unmatched speed, these exceptional vehicles solidified their legacy as the pinnacle of performance within the muscle car era. Well, I hope you enjoyed this list of the fastest cars of the 70s. What was your favorite? Did you own one of these beasts? Let us know. If you liked this video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that bell for future Boca Brother video notifications. This is Danny B of the Boca Brothers. Again, thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you next weekend.